You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly, real name Robert Sylvester Kelly, also known as the R&B King. While many do not seem to understand what Kim Foxx's action of dropping all the Chicago state charges means for the other cases elsewhere against R. Kelly, this move alone leaves Robert with completely no real charge against him, considering the New York charges of racketeering, trafficking and exploitation were all concocted and not applicable to his situation, and that he already won the majority of counts in the Chicago federal case. Here at HN Newsroom, we have time and again published videos that explain why we think New York is completely appealable, and that Chicago has many legal errors committed by the prosecution along with their court counterparts, which if reviewed could see even more guilty verdicts scrapped off R. Kelly's judgment. And this gets us to think about why the district attorney may have chosen to drop the state charges to give R. Kelly an easy win this time round. The prosecution has discovered that they will no longer have a smooth and uncontested fight against the R&B King. They clearly enjoyed their time against the previous legal team, which looked quite compromised and inadequate, but not again. If they had to maintain the state charges against R. Kelly, attorney Jennifer Bonjean made it clear they would have to go right through her, as she officially added her name to the team that would be representing him during the previous hearing. Kim Foxx is no fool not to realize that her team of prosecutors has in fact done so much damage to their case against R. Kelly, when they chose to get unprofessional with witnesses texting them inappropriately back and forth, as was done by attorney Angel Krull, and to illegally engage in evidence gathering, which is not their role as prosecutors. Not forgetting the illegal involvement with the Bureau of Prisons officers and blogger Tasha K to tamper with potential defense witnesses. There was no way she was going to allow her team another opportunity to beshame the institution she represents and risk jeopardizing even the little success already registered in destroying R. Kelly's career, which is their core objective. Fortunately for R. Kelly though, the act by government of dropping the Chicago state charges has served to show the masses that the government's mission was never to seek justice for the supposed victims after all, but to take down another successful African American artist on behalf of those to whom it matters the most. Now that this has already been achieved, Kim Foxx sees no reason to continue parading even more women to accuse him, and risk losing everything already achieved towards this rather sinister objective. While Kim Foxx gave the already issued 30-year New York sentence as a guarantee R. Kelly is destined for a troubled life, she ought to remember that there are still so many unanswered questions that defense attorney Jennifer Bonjean posed to Judge Ann Donnelly but were ignored. One of Bonjean's filings clarified to the judge that the government was not able to prove that R. Kelly operated an illegal criminal enterprise to allow the RICO charges to hold. In other words, there was no proof of enterprise. There is almost no clean or proper accusation against R. Kelly that is clear of errors or call them legal mistakes, and dropping the Chicago state charges only justifies the fact that he is indeed innocent and deserves to be acquitted. Kim Foxx was only wise enough not to hunt what she knew well she couldn't kill. Keeping the entitled accusers at bay, however, proved a hard task for her, and this explains the delay in announcing this dismissal. It must have been complicated to make them understand that they didn't have a real case against R. Kelly apart from reports of failed relationships and minor domestic issues. According to Edgar Johnson, "I actually don't admire Kim Foxx's job right now, and I feel so much pity for her. While it's a hard job already to be the district attorney, having to add falsely accusing the king of R&B on the job description must be suffocating. Worse still when you have to keep accusers such as Lonita Carter and company at bay. I am sure convincing her that she was of age and able to make her own choices when it happened with R. Kelly was in itself a difficult job. No wonder she is already facing backlash in form of disappointment from these women." Lonita Carter wrote a public statement stating how she is very disappointed in Kim Foxx for choosing to drop charges against R. Kelly, which was her only hope to recovering the home she lost to a bank foreclosure using restitution monies. For sure we can understand her disappointment. What she forgot is that she cannot get this by simply bamboozling Kim Foxx and lying to her how she has a strong case against Kelly that she clearly doesn't. According to Justine, the decision by prosecution to drop Chicago state charges against R. Kelly is an indicator of an early defeat, following the introduction of attorney Jennifer Bonjean on the case. If it had been Bonjean on the case from day one, I doubt the government would have even attempted what they did in New York, concocting all kinds of lies on him and forcing charges that do not in any way rhyme with the cases reported. While an appeal is what we are waiting for to overturn the New York verdict, even a retrial alone with proper representation would suffice. I am more than 100% confident if R. Kelly was retried in New York, he would beat his case and walk away with not guilty verdicts for all 10 counts. According Luke Constant. I wonder how those people who were misled by the crooked government prosecutors and the media feel now, after walking around condemning the king of R&B because they were told lies and were too ignorant to look at the evidence and draw their own conclusions. Hate, regardless who is doing the hating, cannot stand against the truth. Thanks to HN News, the world know now that charges have been dropped. However, even in her admissions that she has to drop the charges against the king of R&B, she is still trying to leave impressions that there are women out there that were wronged by R. Kelly, which is yet another lie for the misinformed to believe, so they can put that in their arsenal of hate. I pray that God will open the hearts and minds of everyone that was gullible enough to be persuaded to help bring down a good, decent, helpful, influential man like R. Kelly, the king of R&B. Keep praying, everyone. God ain't through with this yet. According to Solene, this story of dropping charges started months back, but for some reason Kim Fox kept dragging it. I am glad it has been finalized, as we need to move on to other things. What we need to see now is the appeal scheduled to give our R&B king another shot at defeating the New York charges, which until today remain questionable. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.